Have you guys done Venn diagrams in the past?
Yeah.
What class? Social studies. What else?
Language arts.
Language arts. Science, I think. Okay. A lot of different classes. Okay. Let's talk about a two-way first. A two-way. And when you see a two-way table, you're going to say it's a two-way table because it's going to pair two things up. Okay? Paul was kind enough to refresh our memory, guys, about to do this stuff, you need to know the difference between a column and a row.
We need to.
Do you guys know the difference between a column and a row?
Column is side-to-sided, a row. Wait, no. Column goes up and down.
Everybody else got notes stuck together because it seems like there's enough. Hey, if you guys, I always had to draw this little picture thing. Columns go up and down, kind of like vertically, and rows go left to right, kind of like horizontally. Does everybody agree with that? Columns, rows. That always what made sense to me. So you got to know that to get through this stuff. All right, but here's what a two-way table does. It shows the data from one sample group as it relates to two different categories. Honor roll, sports. There's your two categories. Okay? You can represent the data in the table where one category is presented by rows. Everybody put your arms like how rows go. There's a row. And the other category is represented by columns. Everybody put your arms like columns. Columns, rows. Okay?
Well, like,
This, go ahead.
How do you have it between, like,
Good question. This is not a two-way table yet. We're
is
going to
that
get there in a
is
minute.
that a row or a column?
Good. Which part of it? The data
Oh.
is rows. The data, like, only on the honor roll 115, that is a row.
But then if you went that way,
It's a, what?
column.
Correct. The numbers are in columns, and the words are in columns. The information is in rows. Make sense? All right. All right. The data from a survey of 440 high school students are shown in the table. The students were asked whether or not they were on the honor roll and whether or not they played a sport. Well, two questions they were asked. Were you on the honor roll or not? Did you play a sport or not? Pretend you were one of those 440 high school students. You don't have to give, you're not in high school yet, but what's one possible answer to both those questions? What could one kid have said? Hey, raise your hand. I want to hear one answer if possible. Jack, what would you say? And? Okay, so you're the double, you're both of them. So Jack says he's on the honor roll and he plays a sport. Everybody understand that? Somebody give me a different answer that a kid could answer. Harrison, what are you doing?
Only on the honor roll.
So, let's talk about sport.
No sport.
No sport. Harrison is on the honor roll. He's not playing a sport. Somebody give me a different answer. Go ahead, Trace.
You only play a sport, but you're not on honor roll.
Very smart. Trace is playing a sport, but he's not on the honor roll. What's the fourth and final answer a kid could answer? There's only four answers
They
here.
don't do anything. Neither.
So say it more intelligently than that.
They don't play a sport. They're not on the honor roll.
They don't play a sport and they're not on the honor roll. Okay, so those are the only four things that could happen. If you were asked those two questions, either you're Jack Muir and you're in sports and you're an honor roll. Harrison, you were on the honor roll but not a sport. You were sports. What were you?
Sports, no honor roll.
Sports and not honor roll. Maeve,
Nothing.
not on the honor roll, not in sport. I don't think that's going to be you, Maeve, in high school.
Thanks.
Yes, you will be involved in something. Okay, so those are the only four things that can happen. Does that make sense? Okay. All right, here's the table of the information. 115 kids said that they were only on the honor roll. Who was the kid that was only on the honor roll? Was that Harrison? 115 Harrisons. Okay. 45 kids said they only played a sport. Who was that? Was it Trace? Okay, 45 kids answered the way Trace did. 45 kids. Now, 250 kids say they play the sport on our honor roll. 250 kids answered like Jack Muir. Okay, which answer is not in the table?
Maze.
Nothing.
Okay, there's no
Would
sport.
that be like?
Don't say it if you know the number.
No, I'm not seeing the number, but like to put it like down, like to put
How
it
would
in
you
the
write
thing.
it?
Would you put it just in the? You know how it's like you put it either in that or that. Would you put it in this box? No, not there. Like where the Venn diagram is.
Okay.
Inside the box that the Venn diagram is in.
Ah. Oh, yes, we're going to get there in a minute. Good question. Good question. All right, now, you guys have made Venn diagrams before. You've seen them before. You got your honor roll oval and your sport oval and a little bit of overlap. Do you guys understand the overlap?
Yeah.
It's both.
Okay. Don't say it if you know the number. Can anybody take any of the numbers from the table and put them in the right spot on the Venn diagram? You guys have made these before. Angie, give me one number.
In the middle for both, it's 200.
You were correct, Amundo. There are 250 kids that play a sport and are on the honor roll, so that's the overlap. That's both of them. And the biggest number actually goes in the smallest area. And kids mathematically have a hard time understanding that. Why is the biggest number in the... They want to make the size relative to the number. It don't work that way. Can anybody put another number somewhere?
Oh, I can.
What else do you know? Pedal cow.
Put 45 on the sport.
We're at the sport.
Sport
Center.
area.
In the middle, the whole thing, just to the right.
Just to the right.
Correctamundo. 45 kids, guys, are right here because they only play a sport. They're not part of the honor roll, so we're not going to put them in that circle. Using that same philosophy, guys, where does the 115 go?
On the left.
Oh, right, left.
Everybody agree with all of that information? Okay. How many total kids are, might need your calculator for this answer. How many total kids do at least one of these things?
440.
How many of these kids are not the way Maeve answered it?
410.
410.
All right, guys, everybody add up use the calculator, 115, 250, plus 45, because there's no overlap between these three numbers, believe it or not. What number was that, Tara?
They're 410.
410. Guys, 410 people answered they did something. 440 kids were surveyed,
30 don't do anything.
so 30 kids don't play a sport and are not on the honor roll. Where do we put them in the Venn diagram? Do you guys know?
Underneath it.
Outside.
Not, outside the circles, but in the big rectangle.
Yeah, that's what
That's what Maeve was referring to. Guys, 30 go there. I don't even think you
They're
do this. Don't make a box.
outcasts.
30 go outside the circles. Because there's the kids that don't do sports or are on the honor roll.
Is
Lazy
this like a whole
bums.
grade?
Okay.
Could be 440. I think Maine South has a lot more than 440. Okay.
Just a little bit.
All right. Now, relative frequency. That's what you guys are going to be doing for your homework. New big words. You guys can do this stuff. Relative frequency is the ratio of value. Oh, geez. What's the word ratio mean again?
Fraction.
Fraction. Very good. You're going to look for a fraction. Relative frequency is the ratio or fraction of the values of a subtotal to the value of a total. So it's something over something. And that bottom number has to be bigger than the top. It's going to be a fraction less than 1. I can't imagine it ever being kind of an improper fraction. What's the relative frequency? Here's the question. What's the relative frequency of a student that is on the honor roll and plays a sport to all students that are on the honor roll? So you guys figure that out.
Oh, so you have to add the
Don't say it out loud. We got to get the Venn diagram here so we can see the numbers. So we want a student that is on the honor roll and plays a sport. Try to figure out that number. Over, that's what the word 2 means, all students that are on the honor roll. See if you can figure both those numbers out. Got it. Trace, what'd you get?
250 or 150.
Your top number's right. The number 115 is wrong. You can never have less on the bottom. So here's my question to you. The bottom needs to be all students that are on the honor roll. Look at the, what would you do?
It'd be 250 over 365.
Right. How'd you get 365? I don't even see that number up there.
Because you add the kids who play sports and honor roll plus just honor roll.
Excellent answer. 365. Okay? Now, everybody grab your calculator and divide that out to get the decimal, and then we can talk about the percentage. Divide 250 by 365. Trace, what is that number?
0.68 or 0.7.
0.68?
Yeah.
Okay, round 2 decimal spots with these decimals. So what percent is that?
60%
Guys, 68% of the people
are on the honor roll.
are on the honor roll. Or is it? No, 68%. I don't think that's true.
Are not
68% of the
on the-
kids that are on the honor roll,
Don't play sport.
no, play sports.
Bang.
Let me say that again.
Oh, I understand.
68% of the kids that are on the honor roll play a sport.
How many kids don't play sport? Percentage.
32.
Compared to what?
100.
No,
No,
compared
just
to
kidding. Just
all, compared to the whole class,
So-
maybe?
68% of the 365
Play a sport,
play a sport. All right. Thanks.
right?
Yeah.
That's a
I think
tough
she's still
question.
confused.
And then 32%.
Wait, see if
Yeah.
anybody can answer this. That's a good point.
What percent of
Angie,
the
what do 32% of the kids do? 32% of the kids,
don't play sport?
but relative to what?
Uh,
Relative to the honor roll. Very good. You have to put that in there. Okay. All right. Here's my next question to you.
Casey Block.
Is there evidence? Can you guys prove that students that play sports are also on the honor roll?
Yes.
Are there kids that play sports on the honor roll?
Yes.
How
Yeah.
do you know?
From the graph.
The survey.
You can't say because it says so. More specifically.
Because they surveyed all the students.
Yeah, but what from the survey tells you that?
The 68%.
The
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 Venn
rows.
The 68%. Or here's what I wrote down.
Down.
That's what Miss McCall said, 68%, because it's like a pretty good percentage of kids. Okay, play sports and are on the that are on the honor roll also play sports. So 68% is a lot. I put because of the overlap. That's what I always looked for on these Venn diagrams was overlap. And I'm putting an arrow. Look at that. We know that 250 kids do both, so that's the evidence that they play sports and are on the honor roll.
What's the percentage of sports that are on the honor roll?
I think it's that one, 68%.
Yes.
I'm just agreeing with you because I'm telling you that's the answer.
But I think so. Right? Wouldn't it be?
I think so.
Yes.
You want the percentage of kids that play sports that are on the honor roll?
Yeah.
That's 68%, I think.
It is sexy. Right? Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Okay,
Of course.
next one. Now, here's the same data in a two-way table. It's my first experience with a two-way table, guys. Love them. They made sense to me. Okay? Let's do this. The same results from the Venn diagram are shown below as a two-way table. Okay? Here's our two-way table. What was that overlap, guys, between playing sports and on the honor roll?
356.
No. How many people were in the middle part?
Oh, 250.
Look at that. Play a sport on the honor roll. Let's match those up. It's 250. Okay? Do not play a sport but are on the honor roll. That's 115. That was that off to the side part. Not on the honor roll, but play a sport, 45. That was that off to the side. And then here's those 30 kids that didn't do anything. That were outside the circles. Now, total and total. So now we got totals of rows and totals of columns. 250 plus 45 makes 295, which means there are 295 kids that play a sport, regardless whether they're on the honor roll or not. 145 kids do not play a sport. And then going this way, we got 365 kids on the honor roll. We got 75 kids not on the honor roll. You guys have your calculators out? Everybody add 365 plus 75 together.
Or 440.
How many kids were surveyed? Watch this.
Nice.
Somebody had 295 plus 145.
440.
Illuminati
What are you saying?
No, I'm just saying, like, it all adds up.
So 295 plus 145 makes. Guys, these two numbers have to make that number, and these two numbers have to make the same number. If that doesn't happen, your two-way table is not correct. Okay? All right, let's answer some questions now. Don't blurt them out. How many students are on the honor roll? Make that decision right now.
365. Didn't we just do this?
We did just mention it, but see if you can get it from the table. Billy Coyne, how many kids are on the honor roll?
365.
365. That question is asking you for the total. Honor roll, total. How many students do not play a sport?
145.
Wouldn't it be 30 plus?
Plus what?
Plus the 250?
No.
Oh, just kidding. Never mind. Wouldn't it be 30 plus 150? 145?
Way to go, Maeve.
Alright, I'm not gonna.
It's in the table for you. Now, how many students do not play a sport and are not on the honor roll?
30.
30.
Yikes. Just kidding.
Okay? Look, do not play a sport and are not on the honor roll. So I'm going to match those. I'm going to match those things up and find that box, which would be the 30 box. Okay? That makes sense, people, how we got those answers.
True.
All right. Does everybody see how the two-way table works? Plus, plus, going that way and that way. There's only really 4 sets of numbers, but we add them all up and find their sums going in rows and then in columns.
Oh, scribbling.
All right.
No.
This must be an old question because it talks about an MP3 player. You guys know what an MP3 player is?
Yeah.
We used to have an
It's like an iPod, but it's like
I loved it so much.
It's
An
not.
MP3. I used to have an MP3 player and I could hold like 30 songs.
I won when I won the Girl Scout cookies. I was 5th place.
All right. Here's the deal. We're going to All right, Felipe surveyed students at his school. He found that 78 students own a cell phone, and 57 of those students also own an MP3 player. So he put 78 in the total cell phone because that's how many kids got a cell phone, and 57 of them had an MP3 player as well. So there's the both thing going on. 9 students do not own either device, and we should have set it in here because about there's 13. 13 players have an MP3 player but no cell phone. Guys, with all that information, you can now fill out the rest of the table. Go.
You like minus this to this. What?
Colin, give me one other number you can figure out quickly.
22 is the total for your cell phone.
Guys, that's where I'd start. 13 and 9, we know have no cell phones, but there's no cell phone. With an MP3 player is 13, no MP, so it'd be 22. Okay, anybody else got another number that you can fill in?
Yeah.
Cough.
No MP3 player is
21? Yes. How'd you get that?
I subtracted
You know the total's 78, and part of them is 57, so I'm going to subtract those two and get 21. From there, it should all snowball. Billy Coyne,
The total of the MP3 player is 70.
MP3 player total, 70. Angie?
No MP3 player is 30.
How many people were surveyed?
101.
Wait, do they add up 100 both ways?
Yeah.
Do they have to? Yes, they do.
Yes.
Okay, 78, 22 makes 100. 70. If these two numbers don't add up to the same, these two in the column and the row, the totals, you did something wrong. Now, you got to find and interpret your relative frequency of the students in the survey by row. We underlined it. You guys circle it a bunch of times. They're going to ask you either by row or by column. This one's by row. What's the relative frequency of cell phone MP3 players by row? By row. By row. What's the relative frequency, guys, of a kid having a cell phone and MP3 player by the row?
7.
How many out of how many?
70. Yeah, No.
You're so rude.
Oh, Lord.
Come on, guys. I don't think it's 78 out of. It's out of 78.
57 out of 78.
It's 57
Hello.
out of 78. You can put it right in a box with it. Divide it out and find the decimal. That's what you're going to do for your homework. 57 divided by 78.
That was bad.
I got about 0.73. Put it right in the box. Round it to 2 decimal spots, guys. You're good. Round it to the nearest hundred. Okay? And then do the same thing for the other 4 boxes there in the middle. Not the totals. But remember, we're doing it by row or column? Row. 21 over 78, which I got to be about 0.27. 13 out of 22, which I got to be about 59% or 0.59. And then 9 over 22, which is about 41. All right. Next, you have to interpret. What does interpret mean?
Like saying what?
Say something intelligent from that data. Somebody say one intelligent thing about all that data. Based on the relative frequency by row.
Just like a shouting out count.
I always go, guys, when you got to say something intelligent, most students. Now you're making, hey, you're looking at data and making an intelligent comment. Most students, what?
Most students have a phone
And?
and a MP3.
Exactly. Guys, go to the biggest one. That's what I would go to. Most students have
Both.
a cell phone and an MP3 player.
Other players.
Okay? Now, another thing. What if you don't have a cell phone?
Or an MP3 player?
No. What if you don't have a cell phone? Somebody say something intelligent.
13. Then 13. Or then you. Alright, never mind. Then 15.
Right. If you don't have a cell phone, you probably have an MP3 player. If you don't have a phone, well, no, it's the same thing. If you don't have a cell phone, you probably have an MP3 player because 59% of the kids that don't have a cell phone have an MP3 player. That's interpreting the data. If you don't have an MP3 player, you probably don't have a phone, right? Right. That's a good interpretation too. Okay. All right. Let's jump to the next one. Now you got to do everything. Totally blank. All right. Whenever you guys got to make up your own two-way table, it looks like it's going to be a 4x4 table, and then the top left box is going to be blank. Put an X in the top left box. Okay. People in the movie theater were surveyed about whether they bought popcorn or soda. And you guys know what soda is?
Yes.
Okay, I thought you guys did. All right.
But we say pop.
You don't call it soda anymore, do you?
Yeah, we do.
You guys really? You guys
Oh,
know? You guys know?
Wisconsin.
It depends on like where you live. You say pop or soda.
Right.
In Wisconsin, they don't understand what
I would say Coke.
I say
Say
pop.
Coke.
What
You
kind?
know? Even though if it's Pepsi, I still say Coke. But whatever.
What if it's Sprite?
All right. Fill in the below the table the following information. All right. Here's the deal. Hey, it's a two-way table with popcorn and soda. If you were asked whether you bought popcorn at a movie, you only have 2 answers. What are they?
Yes, no, and no, and yes.
Well,
Yes.
just about popcorn.
Yes and no.
Yes and no. Guys, there's no like degree of buying popcorn.
What if you have popcorn and
I'm wrong for it.
I kind of did.
Or if it's like
I kind of
sauce.
wanted to. No,
butter.
it's hey. There's only 2 answers: yes or no. There's no degree of buying popcorn.
What if
Okay.
Unless
So
it's-
let's put popcorn.
What if you bought it and then someone stole it?
Right. Now let's not get into the weird situations like that.
Who
Popcorn?
stole- who just
No
took
popcorn.
it out of your hands? What if you stole popcorn?
Whoa. Hey, now we're on video here. Relax. Popcorn or no popcorn? Now,
What
if you were asked whether you bought soda or no soda, what are your options?
Yes or no?
Soda,
No, sir.
no soda. Yeah. What if you
Yeah,
brought
the
your own
high-
popcorn? There
Is
you
that
go.
illegal to bring your own food?
Yes.
No. Okay.
Pretend we didn't bring our own food. No.
Illegal.
They get mad.
I like that you guys are all thinking outside the
Oh,
box.
one
That's
time
good, but
me and Kat went to
let's stick with the facts.
this lady
Now,
bring up
what's the-
Tupperware up her
hey.
purse, like so many.
May, stop.
Sorry.
Total.
What's the
Total.
What's the last column?
Total.
Total and total. You got to have your last column and your last row labeled total and total. This is tricky.
Totally.
Read the 3 or 4 sentences towards the end there that tell exactly how people answered, and see if you can fill in any numbers in the right spots. They are tricky. Last period struggled with this. Read and think.
Dog.
Read and think.
25 people bought soda.
Fifteen's correct, but you're 25 wrong. Everybody's missing the. Everybody can put the 15 in the right spot, but the 15, or excuse me, the 15's good. You guys can all do that. It's the 25. Nobody can get the 25 right.
Soda with
Read
no
it.
popcorn.
Don't say it out loud. Don't say it out loud. Think. It's a 25 does not go in the no popcorn soda.
It goes in this.
It goes in the total.
Goes in the total.
What?
Because what does it say? Read the whole sentence, Catherine. That's a total. Think about it, guys.
But you just gotta break it up.
So, 15 people bought both popcorn and soda. That's pretty straightforward. 15 people both.
What's 25 minus?
So 15 goes right in the popcorn soda box. Now, 25 people bought soda. You don't know what their deal is with popcorn.
But
Okay?
if you
You just know that they
subtract-
bought soda, so I'm going to go soda total 25.
But then no.
You did. Everybody wanted to put that in the no popcorn, but you don't know that they didn't buy popcorn. It doesn't say that. It's the total. Here's my next question, maybe to Catherine. How many people bought soda but no popcorn? 10. Very good. And she got that by subtracting. Very good. Now, 17 people did not buy popcorn. Where does 17 go?
It's at the very bottom.
No.
Oh, it's the total.
It's the total. You don't know what their doesn't say anything about the soda. So that's just the total. You don't know what their deal is with soda. But 17 people did not buy popcorn. That means no popcorn total is 17, which leads us to the how many people were so cheap or not hungry or thirsty didn't do anything? 7. That's me.
I got a soda out of the trash.
Whenever I take my family to the movies, I always yell at them for buying popcorn and soda. I don't want to spend $25 on a bag of popcorn.
I buy like 50.
You know, like those
I-
refillable-
Yeah, because you're not paying for everything.
You know those refillable cups?
23 people bought
Brianna
popcorn.
gets those out of the trash and refills them.
Ew, that is disgusting.
Such a
No, this is what I always do. I always get a water cup and fill it at the water fountain.
No.
Get a water cup and fill
You
it
want
with soda.
some?
That's what I do.
No.
Yeah.
That's
No,
that's
you
what
I do
I
at
do.
Panera.
That's what I do at Panera.
Yeah,
Focus.
why would you spend like
Focus.
$40 on that?
Focus.
I was once at Subway, and then I asked for water, and I
It's
wanted
hot.
to like
Natalia,
actually pay for it.
Natalia.
So then I got a Sprite, and
Leave,
then it took
Natalia.
it out of my hand, and it spilled all over me like one employee. I just wanted to finish saying.
Yeah, I know you did. All right, where does the 23 go, people?
Popcorn.
Goes in total.
Total popcorn.
It sucks.
Because you don't. Hey, if it doesn't say anything about soda, you can't put that in the soda kit. That's definitely a total. So, how many people bought popcorn but no soda? 8. The difference between the two. Now, add things left and right and up and down. 8 plus 7. No soda, people?
15.
15. Okay? No soda is 15. Soda is 25. Total of
40.
20. What's 23 plus 17? Shazam. It always has to work out that way. Okay? Everybody use their. Oh, wait. Now let's talk about. Find and interpret the relative frequency of the people in the survey by column. column. What's the relative frequency of soda and popcorn? You bought soda and popcorn by column. 15 over 23 or 15 over 25? By column, 23. So it's 15 over 23, and you can put that right in the box, which I got to be about 65%. About what? Column and rows?
I put 23, it's 25, right?
No, we're doing by columns though.
What?
Oh, because you always want to find the column. Okay, we're going to go by column. So you do each of the 4 boxes with relative frequency means the times it happened over the total. Because it says column.
Remember to the chicken.
Column. Where in our last round, we did it by
Guys, you've
rows.
never been there?
We did it by rows. So we did it over 78.
You can't go.
This is a row.
You have to get it to
That's
go.
the column. The
Or
last
you
one
don't get it at all.
Oh, we're doing that one next. And no soda is 8 over 23. 35% or 0.35, it's the same thing. Off tab, too much. Okay, finish filling out your relative frequency, guys, of everything by column. So 10 over 17. That's just your total. You only do this because the 23 doesn't, that would be 23 over 23, which would be 100%. 7 over 17, which I got to be 0.59 and 0.41, or 59%, 41%. Somebody say something intelligent about these people that were surveyed at the movie theater.
They're people.
What most people do?
Bought stuff.
Wait,
They
guys,
bought
if you put,
popcorn and soda.
hey, if you put on a test, most people bought something, that ain't gonna cut it. You gotta say something way more intelligent than that.
Most people
And
bought
always start
popcorn
with
and soda.
most people. That's what you're looking for. Trends. What did most people do? Most people bought popcorn and soda. Because 65% of the people that bought popcorn also bought a soda. What if you didn't buy popcorn? What'd you do? How do you know that?
It's making me want popcorn and soda.
No, I'm talking about the no popcorn column. We're talking about columns now. If you didn't buy popcorn, what'd you do?
Buy
Buy
soda.
popcorn.
What?
Buy soda.
How do you know that? You can't say it says it.
Because more people bought soda.
Because 59%. Okay? If no popcorn, you bought a soda. Okay? If no popcorn, you bought a soda because 59% of the people did that. Okay? More than half of them. That's interpreting your data. Okay?
I have a question about
All right. Last problem. We get through it.
Yes, I don't have a question.
We got 4 minutes. Sweet. We'll probably get through. We got through more.
We have one more after this.
Yeah, but we're only probably going to get through this. All right. Do you guys have a big box around here
Yeah.
with a little 10 in the corner?
Yeah. Nope.
Okay.
Just kidding.
All right. The Venn diagram shows the number of students that like cake and that like ice cream.
I like cake.
I like cake. And I like ice cream. Construct a two-way table that displays the data. Find and interpret. Okay. Here's the deal. From this, see if you can fill in a two-way table. You guys want to do cake across the top?
Yeah.
All right, let's do cake. Or what's your other option?
We're going crazy.
No cake. Those are your choices. You either like cake or you don't like cake. There's no degree of it.
I like
You
cake.
like
You
cupcakes.
can't say I like it a little bit or I like it a lot. It's just you like it or you don't.
No, what if it's ice cream? Then I like. Then I
Total?
like cake.
And then ice cream.
What if it's ice cream cake?
Oh, what if it's ice cream cake?
What if you switch them? Did I not say that?
That's fine. You can do it the other way. You'll get the same numbers.
Jack, get out.
Okay. Somebody put one number in the right spot in that. Go, 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 go.
Oh man.
16 people got ice cream and cake.
That's so true.
Where does the 16 go?
But
And
on ice
the
cream
first
and cake.
column.
Both.
Both.
Why not cookies?
We know. Shh, don't worry about the what ifs, guys. Let's stick with the facts. Somebody give me another number that goes somewhere.
21 equals what?
Those are too funny.
Ice cream and no cake.
21. People like ice cream, but they don't like cake because they're not part of the cake circle.
Those people are crazy.
Okay.
There's 10 in the
So
no
here's
cake,
this
no
my
ice
question:
cream.
How many people like ice cream in this data?
Me.
30.
37. I'm adding it up left to right.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't understand people just eat the icing.
I can't. Ew, I hate ice.
I can't
Alright,
eat.
I have more data for us to write.
What do you got, babe?
For the no
I
cake
can't eat.
and no ice cream is 10.
No cake, no ice cream is 10. Those are these people in the corner here. Okay?
Yeah.
Which means, if I add these up, I got 31. 31 people do not like cake in this survey.
Why?
What about the 18? Where does that go? Cake, no ice cream, very good. Add up left, right.
Get
So I
out.
know that's 28. That gives me 65. If I add these up, that's a 34. Look at that, 34 plus 31. What does that make? Guys, you have to think and get through this. All right, I'm glad we got that one. Last problem, do not worry about it. You guys will be fine for your homework. Your homework is on your syllabi. Great job today, people. Think,
Oh
think,
my god, I
think.
found my calculator.
Means we're gonna
Everybody say goodbye. We took a lot of notes today.
Bye.
And we have Catherine
Bye.
who